Rob Liefeld, one of the most prolific creators of the 90s and probably well into the 2000s. Seemingly, for whatever reason, is the most hated comic book creator artist of all time. Yet, the man is a multimillionaire, has created some of the most iconic characters that Marvel has seen, and in all of comic fandom, actually. And for some reason, you get the sort of discourse around him as if he's a pariah, as if there's something inherently wrong with even liking Rob Liefeld. It has made some channels money just by critiquing his art to the point of bullying. And I think if it was any other artist, I don't think they would be able to take it. And I think because Rob is so used to it and he has a strong personality, I think he's able to overcome it. We're gonna go over some things though in this video, and I'm gonna switch gears here in a second, and I'm gonna show you some stuff, and we're just gonna have a conversation about why I think this is the stupidest thing going around on the internet or in behind closed circles of all time. But first, if you're new here, thank you for picking this video. I know that it looks like the channel is inactive, but it's going to pick up. So please like and subscribe and share this video. And if you're an older subscriber from way back in the day and then you're back here again and you're like, oh my God, he posted again. Thank you for sticking it out. I know it's kind of crazy. But again, we're going to go into some receipts and I'm going to play some things for you. And you're just going to have a conversation about why it's so damn ridiculous. Not just for Rob Liefeld, people to just knock him for the sake of just feeling better about oneself. I guess that maybe that's what it is. Maybe people feel better about themselves, about making fun of someone who's highly successful, who they deem is still inferior to them in some way, shape, or form. It's crazy. It's literally lunacy. But can they be right? Sure. But whatever. But anyway, so let's switch gears real quick, and we're gonna go into the picture-in-picture, and we're gonna just quickly point out some things that are fact. All right, guys, here it is. Let's go. Hi, so this is little me down here. Okay, so we're just gonna go over again some things on why the hate of Rob Liefeld is just outright stupid. First, let me say that to start a channel, for instance, I'm from the 90s, and if you click on this video, you're probably a kid from the 90s, right? So I was 12 years old when Youngblood 1 came out, and it was crazy. Like, the hype was real. New Mutants was preceded to that, and then of course you had Deadpool and all that other stuff, right? On the New Mutants, and it was a great time. Like, it was a great time, right? As young teenagers into art and into comic books, we knew that a lot of Rob Liefeld's anatomy was wrong. We knew that a lot of, like, he'll get mistakes. Like, I remember one time he drew the Juggernaut with like a thumb out here, right? And we made fun of it. We would make fun of like Shaft, right? He would have like his bow and arrow and have no string. But he never mentioned that it was like energy until later. Like, I guess he realized, oh, like, he's not shooting with anything. It's Rob. Like, okay, we get that. We get that, you know, he made those mistakes. He did not learn. I actually would argue that Rob actually got a little worse as far as his anatomy and character positioning as he got older. A lot of his early New Mutant stuff and Hawk and Dove stuff I liked better, to be honest with you. I love the way he drew Wolverine back in the 80s and early 90s. That's my besides Jim Lee's and Art Adams, that is my favorite Wolverine artist because he drew him ridiculously. And my God, guys, it's comic books, right? He's not Leonardo da Vinci, you know, studying the human anatomy and studying it not only for art but for science. No, he's a comic book artist who likes to create and have fun. And I think we forget, and he didn't study anatomy. He broke in at 16 years old, 17, 18 years old, around there, and he never formally went to school for anything. All he had was his love of God. Listen, for the love of God, if you have even the slightest love for comics like Rob does, you're a saint. He genuinely loves the medium. He has like ADHD, right? Like, he cannot concentrate. Like, he wants to create so much, and he has a limited, finite amount of time on Earth. And he's just gonna create. He's gonna make characters up, and he's gonna do all these things, and he's gonna not finish some things because he wants to move on to the next thing. I'm in the same way. Sometimes where I have paralysis, and I don't do anything because I have so many ideas, right? Which I'm hoping to stop, and then, you know, because it's crazy. But in the end, this, if you look, just YouTube, Google, look up Rob Liefeld, and you're gonna see channel upon channels of just ragging Rob Liefeld. Look at this arm. Look at this Captain America chest. Look at how bad. This guy's laughable. But I just saw today one channel because I was doing some last minute research, and then they were going over like swiping and the whole Fighting American thing. But first of all, Fighting American was a character that already existed. He licensed it. He didn't make him up. Like, he didn't invent Fighting American. Marvel took him to court. They didn't win. They just came to a compromise of just add some brown to it. That's it. They couldn't because the character already existed prior, right? He just licensed it to do a Captain America story that he couldn't do at Marvel, right? Because he had already done the stories. He wanted to do more, but can't. So what do? You either go into public domain or you license something that is kind of like Captain American-ish. Now, and people pretend to not understand that. Like, they pretend that that's not what his intent was. I give another example. They were clowning on his Youngblood #5 cover with Cougar on it, and it was basically the New Mutants cable cover with the targets on it, and they ragged it as if he was like, "Look, I can't believe you tried to pass this off." It's an homage to himself. You cannot steal from yourself. I've never heard anyone take the Spider-Man #1 cover and make fun of Todd McFarlane for reusing it in Spawn as a cover. No, I never once did anyone I've ever heard. Todd's anatomy is not accurate, right? But he doesn't get the same hate, right? He doesn't get the same hate. Well, here's Mark Millar, and I have a video here queued up. This is Joe Mad and Millar Time podcast, and in this same podcast, and I urge you to actually go and take a look at it. Mark Millar says that he used to do this every few years. He would take comic books, put them out for his nieces, nephews, and kids, and whatever. And most of the time, they would pick out the Rob Liefeld books as the books they liked the most, right? Rob Liefeld has sold more books and revived more franchises than anyone that I know of. And that's fact, and we're going to cover that a little bit. But let's play real quick here this Joe Mad thing, because I found this interesting, what Rob told Joe.
That's how bad it was at first. But again, I would just rather dive in there and figure it out. And, obviously I got a lot more into writing over the years. But back then, you're right. It was just like pin-up after pin-up. And
I don't know, those guys really influenced me a lot. Rob.
So he's about to talk about Rob. But the question was, or the statement was from Mark Millar, the 90s Image time was like story secondary, art was primary. And it was almost like all of the guys who had books that was like a portfolio, right, of art for themselves. And as soon as they changed it up, and like year 2, they started getting real writers, quote unquote real writers, and the interest kind of waned and dropped. Like, the fans were not responding to it as when it was just like boom, pin up, boom, splash pages, and crazy art and crazy anatomy takes, and all of a sudden when they wanted to tell a story, the interest waned, right? And that's what led to this particular comment right here.
He gave me a lot of really good advice, like at that crew. He would be like, just make sure every page has, you don't want to be flipping the comic store, see nothing and put it back. Every single page should have something on it.
That is brilliant advice. And to be honest, how many of us as kids would go, look through a page, oh God, to put it back. The cover drags you in. You're like, oh man, that cover is great. As soon as you do this, you're like, nah. It could be the best story in the world. They don't give a damn. You're just like, yeah, and you put it back, right? Rob gave me, he said, make sure. Be real. Anytime you picked up a New Mutants book or Youngblood book, that's exactly what happened. It would be the splash page on the left, splash page on the right, probably, or one crazy panel amongst insignificant panels. That's just what happened.
That grabs your attention. If I'm like, and within that page, there should be a panel that's like more important than the others. Like, that stuff that's always stuck with me in my mind, because I think I already was trying to do that, but I didn't know why. But he was cheap. Like, he just breaks it down like so quick. He's like, when somebody opens this thing, they look at one page, maybe another, and they will buy it because they're going to see something awesome, because every page has to have like this, eye candy or whatever.
Someone that we take serious in the comic book industry as a awesome creator, telling us, you, the viewer, that he'd be a great editor-in-chief. because the guy's passionate. That advice he gave to Joe Mad could run circles around Rob as far as technical, pure art direction, right? But here he is saying that advice he gave him sticks with him to this day. Now go back and look at the Joe Mad books. You're gonna see in a different light now, knowing that what you're looking at is inspired by Rob. Crazy.
He understands the market. He understands the kids in particular. Like, I do an experiment.
Oh, so I got it wrong because I haven't seen this in a while since it came out. So this is the comment came after with the kids, and I'm gonna let you hear that part because I thought it was a great point, like a great little experiment. Check this out.
A few years, I haven't done it for a couple of years, but what I do is I get a bunch of comics and I sit them out for the kids. You know, my kids now, but I used to do it with my nephews and nieces, and I'll spread them out and see what ones do you like, and some of the friends are in as well.
Now, this is an experiment he's running. Why? Because he's Mark Millar and he can do whatever he wants. But I guess he wants to just test the waters and test the temperature and see what's what, right? And it makes sense to do that once in a while, right? Especially with kids, because kids will tell you the truth. Kids will tell you you're fat, ugly, nasty, stank. Like they don't care about your feelings.
And they flip through everything and they say, oh, this is pretty cool, or that's terrible and everything, you know. Every time Rob's their favorite artist. Like Rob's just got something. There's a crazy energy to his stuff. He gets comics. I think those Image guys, there was a magic to those early guys. There was. I mean, it was like all of my favorite artists.
And we're not gonna end up that one there. But again, that's the thing. Rob has this thing, and nobody wants to admit it because he didn't go to art school. His anatomy is like erroneously like yes, his anatomy does not exist, but people act as if he doesn't move the needle. Thundercats from Dynamite. It's okay as far as numbers were when it was being pre-ordered. And I'm a huge Thundercats fan. And when I heard that this was happening, I said I need to get Thundercats. Then news broke that Rob was gonna do a cover or covers. Boom, 70,000 copies. You telling me that millions of people are always they just hate Rob and they hate buy Rob stuff and make him richer and richer and richer and richer and richer and richer and richer every time? Every sale can't be wrong. If he was that bad, no one would buy it. No one. So let's go to the next thing. Remember that little thing called Heroes Reborn? Now this is September 1996. Jim and Rob were commissioned by Marvel to revamp some of their iconic lines, right? And at the time, these books, Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Avengers, and Captain America, were not in the top 10. They were. You couldn't find Captain America. I mean, it was bad. But now, if Rob Liefeld, this is 96 now. This is far removed from New Mutants, X-Force, even Youngblood to a sense, right? 3, 4, 5, almost 5 years removed from Youngblood. And you would think if he was that bad of an artist, okay, this is not gonna, nobody's gonna buy a Rob Liefeld Captain America or Avengers, right? That goes to show. It makes sense. Let's take a look. The number one book in the revival was Fantastic Four number 1, cover price $295, came in at 313,000 copies, almost 400,000, almost 314. Iron Man Volume 2, 277,000. Avengers and Captain America, 276 and 274K. You cannot say that Rob Liefeld is this, that, and the other, terrible at this, terrible storyteller, Swiper, Deadpool is Deathstroke. Now listen, Deathstroke as in, swimming. Deadpool is a pool. A stroke, a pool. Wade, Slade, Wilson. I get it. But let me also tell you something. There are no longer any more original characters. Every character everything's already been made. You might get original stories with non-superhero type archetypes, or once in a blue moon you'll get a really original character of some sort. But even those still have glimpses of what was before. You're always gonna have a Superman type. You're always gonna have a Spider-Man type. You're always gonna have a Wolverine type. It's already ingrained in pop culture, and it's gonna be hard for you to be original, like 100%. No one's ever seen this before, type of character. That's not gonna happen anymore, right? at least 99.9% of the time. But look at these numbers. I mean, you can't complain. It's crazy to think. So let's see if I can go. So let's go to 1996. That was here. So let's go here. In October, look at the numbers still holding up. Iron Man Volume 2. Captain America was still selling 131,000 copies at number 11. People want to tell you, though, that Rob Liefeld does not move the needle, or that he's a hack. Guys, the guy can tell a story. He can create character stories. Does his characters are like derivatives of things we've seen before? Of course. Who has not seen these before? But the guy is a prolific creator. Whether it's you just throw spaghetti to the wall and see what sticks. I mean, that's how you create. He's not afraid to put something out. And if it's trash, it's trash. But he does it. I haven't. Maybe you haven't and you wanted to, right? So, again, I mean, look at all of these works from Rob Liefeld, right? All of these works. This was a short story here in his new Brigade that was supposed to be released. It's Airborne. I like the cool concept. Yes, it's Superman gone bad. Supreme was Superman. Airborne is Superman. Omni-Man is Superman. Homelander is Superman. You see what I'm saying? But he gets the rough end of the stick. Why? Because he makes money. His drawing style, specifically in the 80s and the 90s, was full of energy. Yes. Actually, I like his old stuff better than I like his new stuff. His new stuff is kind of like too tight. His old stuff is loose and full of energy. And that's what I liked about it. Let's see if I can find something here. I mean, even this here, you can see like this energy in these lines, like these calves don't exist in real life. This energy. And that's what people liked when they opened up a Rob Liefeld book. This is the energy. It didn't matter that it wasn't right. That's irrelevant. Does it look cool? Does it have energy? Yeah, it did. And people who tell you otherwise, that didn't look good. They liked it. As kids, they liked it. It's just cool now to beat up on Rob Liefeld. No, not now. It's been, but you know what I mean, right? And it's just, we need to just like look at this Wolverine, like this Wolverine is crazy, right here. Let me move myself to the side. Oh no, hold on now. Let me move myself. Look at that. I mean, come on, guys. Like, this Wolverine is insane. This Cable is insane. None of it makes sense. None of it. If this was a real person, it would look so ridiculous. But it's supposed to, for me, it's supposed to look like this. And that's why I've made a decision now where I'm just gonna draw. And if it looks like, I remember I had posted my OC Death Moth. And somebody was like, oh, something about his head and his body, right? Like he has to be 8 heads tall and this to be proportionate. You know what? Screw it. I'm no longer going to draw for making things proportionally correct. I'm going to try my best. That I will do. But if it looks cool, but it's incorrect, it's just what it's going to be. Because it just needs to be cool. And that's my era. And I can't pretend to be something I'm not. And Rob doesn't pretend to be anything he's not. He just draws and he makes things and he knows that they're derivatives of other things you've seen before. He does not care. Because he's a fan of comic books and making stories. That's just, and he's brought us Deadpool, Cable, Domino, Strife. Now Youngblood has a revival. And if you think that for a second that he doesn't have a hit movie outside of Marvel in him, I wouldn't doubt him. His Extreme Universe has some cool stuff. It's just a matter of picking the right writer, director, and actors in it, and then letting it go crazy. But anyway, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think? Do you agree? I mean, I don't know the purpose of making a channel just to ish on the generation you grew up on, because it gets you clicks and views and it makes you cool now as the cool kid. We were never the cool kids, bro. Stop trying to pretend. We were never the cool kids. It's okay. You can just if you loved it when you were young, fine. If you see all the errors in it now, great. But to diminish it just because you're somehow better now than you were then is stupid. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below what do you think, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. And I'm out. Peace.